Good evening and welcome to the Hendrick Hudson Board of Education meeting. Tonight is Wednesday, September 12, 2018. Would you please stand and pledge allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our first order of business is to get our agenda in order. Can I please have a motion to accept the agenda as presented? Does anybody want to call anything from the consent agenda? Yes. Consent agenda, everything's fine. Here we go. We're up to hearing no, I have to approve the consent agenda first. All right, can I please have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Second, all in favor? Now we're up to audience comments. The Board of Education of Hendrick Hudson welcomes public comments at this portion of the meeting. To maintain an orderly and efficient meeting, the Board has established the following guidelines for those who wish to address the meeting. Each speaker will be permitted 3 minutes for their comments and must be recognized by Roseanne. All comments must be directed to the Board. The Board will listen to comments and input, but will not necessarily debate or discuss items with the public. Operational matters will be directed to the school administrator for handling. The Board is not permitted to address personnel or individual student matters in the session, so any matters that involve names of specific administrators, teachers, or personnel will not be permitted. The Board also will limit repetitive comments in order to give time to others wishing to speak, as well as to maintaining meeting efficiency. With that being said, then we have the superintendent's report.
Sure, a number of updates as we have kicked off our 2018-19 campaign. First, give everyone an update on our enrollment. We still have a lot of moving parts in our elementary enrollment. We have families that are moving, that are coming. We have students who are placed in some of our programs. As of last Friday, our 3 elementary schools have 25 more students than we did last year, which is a good thing. When we have more students, that's always positive. Buchanan-Verplanck is up 20 students. Frank-G. Lindsay is up 9. And Furnace Woods is down 4. And when we calculate our entire elementary enrollment and divide that by the number of classroom sections we have, we should be very, very proud that our average elementary class size is 19 students. So there are fluctuations, obviously, based on what neighborhood you live in and how old you are, those sort of factors that we can't necessarily control. Those are decisions as to where families live, but an average class size across our district of 19 is something to be very, very proud of. We are still continuing to some degree, especially at the high school course selection. All of our high school students have their schedules, and some adjustments are being made, determining what electives they want to take, or whether they're doing internships or part of other programs. So we're still not 100% set at the high school, but we're very, very close. As was evidenced tonight, due to parking restrictions, our athletics program has begun. All of our teams are participating. Tonight we had boys and girls soccer under the lights, and we had our volleyball team also performing today. So that's a great opportunity to come out and support our student athletes. Starting shortly, I don't have the calendar in front of me, but our 6 PTAs will begin their meetings and reorganize themselves and set their agendas for the year. And that will be an important opportunity for families and parents to get involved. And at approximately, 3:30 today, we received information that 4 of our high school students are semifinalists for the National Merit Scholarship Program. And I'll just read to you what that is very briefly. Today, officials of the National Merit Scholarship Corporation announced the names of approximately 16,000 semifinalists in the 64th Annual National Merit Scholarship Program. These academically talented high school seniors have an opportunity to continue the competition for upwards of 7,500 National Merit Scholarships worth more than $31 million that will be offered in the spring. To be considered for a Merit Scholarship Award, semifinalists must fulfill several requirements to advance to the finalist level of the competition. Over 90% of the semifinalists are expected to attain the finalist standing, and about half of the finalists will be eligible to win a National Merit Scholarship, earning the Merit Scholar title. So from our high school, we want to congratulate these 4 individuals: Kathleen Mahoney, Haley Merchant, Rachel Moon, and William Wallers. This all became public late this afternoon. We got information out to our press partners. We have information on our website. Pretty soon we'll do a picture with all 4 of these students and a little write-up so everyone can get to meet our National Merit Scholars, which is an outstanding recognition of their work, but also the work of this organization. And not just in the high school, but all the way starting at the roots in kindergarten. So hopefully our entire school community is proud of this very important distinction. We also received notice that 3 of our students who auditioned for the New York State School Music Association last spring were identified by the New York State Music Association to participate in some of the state's very, very elite groups. They are Kathleen Basaccia, they are Kylie Bytram, and Melissa Bushkin. So those 3 singers, they're all sopranos, will represent Hendrick Hudson at, I believe, it's usually the first weekend in December, and it's in Rochester. They perform at the Eastman Hall, part of Eastman School of Music, and there is an outstanding opportunity for those individuals. And the last update I have is to advise the board and bring them up to speed. We've had a number of instances over the last 4 or 6 weeks regarding various Facebook pages. I want to let the board know that the only district Facebook page is the one that is administered and run by district officials. I know that many different groups who are partners with the school district have Facebook pages, PTAs have Facebook pages, some of the actual teachers or class parents have Facebook pages, some of our athletic and music support groups have Facebook pages, and while they're certainly affiliated in supporting our mission, vision, and goals, the only Facebook page that is entirely a district entity is the Hendrick Hudson Facebook page. I know some of you have received information about different posts that are out there. I know I've heard from some parents about Facebook posts and the validity or the information that's being posted, and we'll try to work with those folks to give them the information that they need. But I want to make sure folks understand that there's only one official Hendrick Hudson Facebook page.
Next, I'm moving to committee reports. I don't think any committees have started to say, but I know you have.
Just had a comment. Phil and I have been talking. There's some things happening right now at the state level, dealing with the state and local taxes, the deduction, there was a charitable deduction fund set up by the an allowance neighbors that allowed districts to make these funds that could allow people that charitable contributions to get that deduction because there's this $10,000 coming. The IRS made a ruling. I think it's a preliminary ruling now. You might have to correct me on that, but basically they're saying that it's not going to be allowed to do this.
But they have the effect, they will have the effect. If there's no real final regs, they have the effect of, they are the rule. So they do have currently have effect, but they're looking for comments, but that comment period is a relatively short period, but basically telling you the direction they're going, which is to, they're saying that charitable contribution workaround to be able to still have a tax benefit for paying the state and local taxes above the 10,000. They're saying, no, that's not going to work.
So there's a meeting on Monday, on the 17th, with some state people as well as with some lawyers, looking at trying to get a feel for whether districts are interested in pursuing possible litigation and just kind of get a feel for what the feel is of the area.
Who's running this?
The invitation is coming from Anne Collin along with Assemblyman Bushwell. I'm not sure, they're both the Assembly people. And the law firm is Baker McKenzie.
So this from what I recall is in response to the federal tax code and tax cuts that were voted on last year, and that our governor wanted to come up with a way of sort of over the few words a workaround some of that legislation, so that families, especially in Westchester, among the highest property tax communities in the state, might be able to use a reduction philosophy or angle in order to maximize tax benefits. So it's been kicking around for a while. I know on our lists, superintendents and school board officials, we're all wondering who's going to do this, because we haven't received solid enough information from the legal folks and the state finance folks to determine whether it's even a viable option.
Given that, it's the area that I do for a living, I have very strong feelings that it's not likely. I was suggesting it was very unlikely when the state passed this. I almost was questioning what were they thinking, or was this just a political ploy on their part to make it look like they are trying to do something for New Yorkers to alleviate the lack of this deduction. And the IRS made it very clear a couple of weeks ago that, they're not going to allow this to work. So now they're looking for support to do something else, but we don't know what that something else really is.
Yeah, so it's just, there'll be a meeting on the 17th, and I'll be invited to send somebody from our district to go with, find out what they're looking at and what the options are. And, I was thinking that if we were to send somebody, it would be best to send Bill, just because of his background, but it's also the same as facilities.
Is there any chance we can bump the facilities like an hour later or something like that?
I think these are probably the opportunities to do.
I have them for them later that night as well. I can come, I can be there at 5.
All the business officials will discuss this, unless it's crystal clear, whatever we can do, we do it, because just imagine that then called owner of the town sponsor, we set it up, and then the annual list goes up. They would be very bad. So no one wants to do it unless it's a clear law, or it's very clear that we can do it, because then we can become liable.
I think that was the thought before they put out the statement 2 weeks ago.
Exactly.
2 weeks ago. Because there was a couple of municipalities that did actually do this in Westchester.
Scarsdale,
Yeah, Scarborough was one of them, but when you did it, they had clear consult with your tax council. There was disclaimers. They said there's a strong possibility it may not. So there was disclaimers on it, and they did retract it and eliminated it since the ruling a couple of weeks ago. But I'm not sure what direction they're looking to go in now. You got to keep in mind, it's federal tax legislation that's causing this. So even if we get all of New York to agree and say, we want to make a change, you got all the other states that have to get in on it. And when we're in a high cost of living area with the higher real estate taxes in the tri-state area, and there's only a handful of states that are like that, the rest of the country's not gonna, to get them to agree to get on board with changing this, is a difficult challenge.
So,
But do we want to follow it is the question.
Our district, I guess is.
I guess I'm not clear what the meeting is about. Do they want the school districts to join in helping to pay for litigation or
No, not yet. I
litigation
think
or?
it's mostly, they're trying to form a coalition that would include school districts, West District School Board Association, various people, with this law firm to look at just, I guess, litigation options, possibly. Yeah. Before the comment period, it's a comment period that I think ends October 11th. And so they're trying to see if there's enough support to do the comments from different districts and to, talk about the impact on our district with this particular legislation. And,
Who's paying for the litigation?
yeah.
I
This
think the state,
The state?
the state of New York, Connecticut, California already sued the federal government. So I'm assuming in the
Right.
Actually, it looks, according to the information with Lisa, it sounds like part of the purpose of this meeting is to determine whether or not Westchester Public School Board Association is interested in joining this coalition.
And that will be determined by whether our districts that are part of Westchester Public have an interest or not.
My feeling is, unless they come out with something mind-boggling, I think it would not be good use of our money. And if West Bud is doing it, I'm sure that's coming somehow. It's funded by our resources. And I don't know that would be good use of money, but do we want to bother to hear what they say, or do we just get a memo afterwards and decide whether we want to follow it at that point?
I don't really think it would hurt to have representation there, to hear, what they have to say, unless nobody wants to do it.
Well, it's a conflict, too. But,
This is like, we are part of a coalition, exactly that we're lobbying.
So how did I can't hear you.
So if we join the coalition, it would look like we're lobbying.
Well, we can't do
That's what I'm saying. So we can lobby
We
for
can't
our own
support
lobby.
anything political.
We can even do it legally. I don't know if they understand.
Is this to create that or is this just the?
We joined it.
Just to get some information, are they looking?
It's not
We don't have
information,
information.
it's just not information. And they're looking
I don't
for
think
both
we have
sides
to
to
do
work.
it. So I think it's up to either one of you what they want to do.
I think if we were to do it, I don't know if one or both of us want to go, and then we would just cut it short and back to the facilities, because that's going to be an important meeting, I think, also, looking at the facilities.
And I think that's very acceptable if they think you should do that.
Okay.
This meeting starts at 3:30.
Yeah. And you're coming back up to here on rush hour.
Rush hour. Everybody's safe.
Part of me says they're going to be sending out a memo on the results of that meeting.
Well, you know what, I don't think we have to decide tonight, so
So we need to decide soon.
we can decide soon, but I don't necessarily don't think we have to decide that. So, you think about it, and you think about it, and whatever you decide, you support our decision. Okay, how's that? Okay, fine. All right, anybody else have any committee reports? Also, just for the public, there is representation by board members at all of the PTA groups, on the different, committees throughout the district. And it's going to be a very busy year for all of us. All right. That being said, moving forward, we have our second women's comments on agenda items. If anybody would like to speak, the same rules as before apply.
Michelle Basilino. Mr. Hopper, you mentioned that the high school is not quite set with, they're making adjustments with schedules, and I know that many, you probably see it on Facebook, as you mentioned Facebook, many students, especially freshmen, are trying to get reading put into their curriculum, and they're just being told that there's not enough classes. So they're being turned away from having reading put in, but they have 2 study halls, which are free periods, but there's not enough reading classes for them, and they come from leveled literacy classes in the middle school. Last year at one of our last Board of Ed meetings, I asked what was going on. We have Miss St. Pierre in the high school finally, she's doing an amazing job. And Mr. Mackin mentioned she was just getting her feet wet. This was a, I guess, trial, and that we were bringing more reading in, and now here we are with freshmen coming in with 2 study halls, but they can't work them into their program to get them the reading when they just left the middle school with reading help, but now they can't get it. So do we have any intentions of bringing another reading teacher in so that these children who just left reading can now get reading in the high school?
Well, I would suggest that Mr. Mackin and Dr. Bowler get back to you with an answer, and they will do that as soon as possible. Thank you very much. Anybody else? And any board comments?
So, what you were saying, if we think about this, we were talking about the parking, tonight the parking was very tight. And I know we've had an issue with that with previous board meetings. Would it make sense to help alleviate the parking problems with our athletic events and other events that we have going on, that we maybe move the board meeting from here, where we have them over the summer, to the district office, so that could free up the parking issues here a little bit? If we were to move to there.
Certainly an option, just so everyone knows that the athletic schedule is dictated by Section 1. They come out with the schedule and essentially plan their home and away games, and with very little choice does a school or a team get the schedule, get to fill the rest of their schedule. So on many instances, we are here while there are other athletic events that we can't tell Section 1 not to schedule because it's important. We do have instances, and I'm sure it will happen going forward, just because there's a lot of activity, and really only 4 nights a week to have evening activities if you're not a sports team, Monday through Thursday, with open house, with financial aid night, concerts, so on and so forth. If we want to move the board meetings to anywhere else for any of those reasons that are on ballot, we can make that happen in the district office. It wouldn't be as much of a production, for lack of a better term, as prepping the library and breaking it down.
Would it save money?
I don't know. It may, in terms of cost of staff and allocating staff. You know, we have been here late. We've seen the team of folks come in to break down the tables and organize the room so kids can enjoy it at 7:30 in the morning. But certainly something we can value. That's fundamentally in the district office, that downstairs door. We could block access to the rest of the building. We have had that conversation with Anthony Merlin, our facilities director. We can revisit that. We thought to at least start the school year, come back here, because this is sort of a commonplace, but it's hard.
I know when we're not here at the board meeting, like it's just athletics, and the gym and the field, the front doors to the bottom.
Correct.
So that gives a better.
I think it's a big deal. I mean, there's times that as long as there's adequate notice,
space. I mean, and if we know what the schedule is, then we go. But, I mean, we've done it in different places before we go to the library, and as long as people know ahead of time, then I don't see a big deal. Whatever, if it's more convenient, then, you know, and it alleviates a lot of the parking issues, and if nothing else frees up, you know, a dozen parking spaces, so.
We can evaluate that.
Single family.
Yeah, what is the event schedule? If the athletic schedule and the event schedule are already set for the year, couldn't we just look ahead and just find all Wednesday conflicts and just move it over?
So we can, Roseanne,
But
I
it's
can look
not
at that
just the
tomorrow, Friday.
athletics, it's the teaching.
Well, that's what I mean,
Yeah.
on the master schedule,
Yeah.
look at the master
Yeah.
I think
schedule.
part of the problem tonight is moving into early.
Yeah.
Well, there are two
Unless
days.
it comes,
Well,
right, there are two things going on.
If there's anything happening around this time,
Right.
it's easy enough to do.
It's just a functional balance. Doesn't matter.
We can look at it, we'll look at the master district calendar.
But I just think overall, that should be something that we have, that we discuss and we're clear on, if we're gonna move anything, we're clear on reasons and everybody.
So what we'll do, Roseanne and I can look at the master schedule, we'll come back here in 2 weeks and look at which meeting locations we should move and for what reasons. It doesn't answer all of the questions or address all of the issues. I think if we moved all of our meetings to the district office, it checks more boxes, but we can certainly do it as necessary. So we'll look at that and come back in 2 weeks and look at some of those dates that have multiple numbers.
Anybody else? Okay. That being said, can I please have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Second? All in favor?